Hey, 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 here we go once again. Setting it straight with fam. This is me, Bobby B, and I got my boys here again. Joshua and Jordan. We are here to set it off because we're going to go ahead and set it straight. Okay, that's what we do every time we hear. We bring it to you live. Well, sort of live. But we bringing it. That's right, we got this camp going on. We already had our full week going on. We see some things. Now today we got some full padded. We see some things we like, and maybe some things we have not gotten the opportunity to see yet. Maybe some changes coming forward. I don't know. But we're going to talk about some stuff today, and I can't wait to get in it. We got a lot to discover today. We got a lot to get in, and we're going to go ahead on and start with today. You know what? Actually, Josh, we got a signing today. We got, coming in the camp. We got somebody that's got some ink on the paper today, right? That's supposed to be some good news right there for some people. Not the people that not the folks that we were looking for to get signed, but hey, we got some folks that got some paper. What you got with that?
Yeah, so just a quick shout out and breaking news. Jake Ferguson has now signed an extension with the Dallas Cowboys, 4 years, $52 million contract. So, I mean, if you divide it by four, that's about, 13 million dollars a year. That's really good for the cap. You know, this is what you're supposed to do, Dallas Cowboys. This is what you're supposed to do. Sign your players early. Now, there's speculation that's saying like, okay, like, all right, we're seeing it like a trend here. Like, okay, like Jake Ferguson is getting signed. Why is Micah CD, DAK Prescott? Why is it going all through all the other stuff? But the actual really thing is that I mean, while Jake Ferguson is a very great, he's a good player, he's a good tight end. He's not like one of your pillars of the team. So, but however, Deron Bland, Dallas Cowboys, Tyler Smith, Dallas Cowboys, right? Sign these guys early, and then probably I get it. Tyler Smith, he's going to be one of Command's, top of the market money because he's like ranked number 2 in the NFL when it comes to guards. But hey, right now it's time to do it early, you know. So speaking of which, I mean, Trayvon Diggs, right?
Yeah, what about Trayvon Diggs?
Trayvon Diggs is now. This is a guy that, like, okay, I get it. You signed him early, right? And unfortunately, that's the other side of the coin. Rehabbing, having issues with rehabbing and everything. Not losing $500,000 of your sign-on bonus. I don't know if I said that last time. So he wasn't really penalized last year, but he wasn't penalized for not going to camp, but he pretty much negated his workout bonus, which was $500,000, right? However, he seems to be looking good. I don't know if y'all seen it. Like, he's been moving back and forth pretty fluidly, right? Going back and forth, jumping. I'm seeing him spreading with the team. I'm seeing him try to catch jump balls, like even right there. Like, that's one of them. Like, that's a very small portion of what he's been doing. So I can see him coming back maybe before Siobhan Revell. Siobhan Revell said he had like a little bit of a setback, but he's a couple of weeks away. So look forward to seeing Siobhan Revell. Trayvon Diggs might have the whole entire crew back. So I mean, that's one thing to be excited about.
Right, that's what's up. I was concerned about that cornerback side, and seeing Diggs out there doing that, man. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Because as we were talking in the previous podcast we was having, man, we was just kind of worried about how our cornerbacks are going to be looking. You know what I'm saying? And we was always wishing and hoping one of these days, man, we're going to get Bland on one side and Diggs on the other side and see how those two compare on the field. And you're seeing what would the offense do, you know, because of that, because you're going to have to go to one side or the other, and they both seem to be, you know, aside, you know, Diggs to me seemed like a more of a shutdown than Bland would be, but still, you know what I'm saying? They both, and that's just my opinion, but that seemed to be something that somebody's going to be open, somebody's going to be one-on-one in that sense. So I'm curious to see what's happening.
Honestly, and I will have to say this, right? And Kyer Elam is making me look really bad. He's making me look like a complete fool right now.
Really?
During he's doing his thing during camp. I mean, intercepting DAK Prescott, like maybe doing a couple of pass breakups. He's on them like white on rice, peanut butter on jelly. I don't know, whatever you guys like. You know, he's pretty much on the receivers. He's diagnosing plays. So honestly, just for now, instead of being, I'm at a 2 out of 10 out of a confidence level. I'm probably at a 3/4 on the confidence level for our cornerbacks.
Really?
3.5.
Really? Okay, but check
You know
this
what I mean?
out. But check this
So-
out. But before we get into the camp, what's going on with the camp portion, I just want to stay with Jerry for a quick second, because when we just start talking about Micah Parsons and you start talking about Diggs and stuff like that, and we just talked about Jake Ferguson, you know, getting his you know, Jake Ferguson getting his contract done, and you know, and it's funny that for some reason, you know, and what I heard, Jerry was talking about that he feels that Micah Parsons is more aware of his contract than anyone. Micah. Oh, you trying to say that's what he called him? He called him Michael. But
Michael
his name is
Parsons. That's what he called him.
Oh wow, that's crazy. But this is interesting because we have some stuff, as you all know, that Dallas Cowboys going to always be in the news, and you know, we got the player, one of our best players, making a statement, and then now you got the owner doing a clapback, you know what I'm saying, of that, and that was crazy. But let's go and talk about what caused the clapback from Jerry. Let's go with the interview first, and we'll go from there. We go with the interview.
Micah, how would you characterize how close you are to getting something done? I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see how long things take, you know. Are you discouraged by the fact that it's taking this long? Honestly, yeah. When you go around the league and you see these other teams taking care of their best guys, I see TJ got taken care of. You know, Max got taken care of. Miles got taken care of. He got 2 years left in his deal, so it's hard to. Yeah, you see a lot of people around the league that taken care of. You just, you know, wish you had something that, you know, that same type of energy. You know, it's hard to not take it personal. I wouldn't say it's hard not to take it personally when you know how, when there's a chain of events of something consistent happening over the course of years, when you kind of see it before through other players and things. So you don't take it personally. You're like, all right, it's not like I'm getting treated different than anyone else. You know, so I don't take it personally. I just don't understand it.
Right. See, he said some stuff right there. You know, he said some stuff. You know what I mean? And I kind of agree with what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everyone else is getting their pay. You know, everyone else is getting their contract signed, and especially when you're talking about really good players. We're not talking about the mediocre players getting their contract. And I know Jerry. He already gave the man the best. You know, I think a compliment and said, like, you know, Micah, or you say Michael Parsons, has, you know, probably the best person that he have talked to who knows his money, you know, side of the financials, should I say what he said, more than anyone that he's ever dealt with as a player. So that's interesting. So I mean, this is why it's taking too long, man? As Micah, Michael Parsons is bringing more to the table. They did have to take more time to try to deal and get it everything's written, But that's pretty funny. But here's the thing that was crazy though. Jerry's clapback was even crazy. I don't know if he was clapbacking on Micah, or is this a shout out to DAK Prescott? Y'all let me know.
Just because we signed him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, DAK Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about.
I've ever heard a GM talk like that.
Just as the player does.
Shots
when you're thinking
fired.
about committing and guaranteeing money.
Wow, shots fired. Shots fired, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Shots fired. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What is he saying there? What is he saying? He's saying that that we as owners, we as the business people have to look at this more on a business side of it. And look, we already signed one person already with big numbers being the highest paid, and the dude was out in a few games of the season. He missed a whole lot of games. So what is that telling the fans though? So now you're saying because of things that can happen, injuries is nothing that we all not familiar with. These things happen. This is one of the most physical sports there is, I believe, outside of MMA. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy, right? So it's not like this is new. So you're making your decisions now and saying like, what? We can't sign your guys because of the chances that they may get hurt. So we put up a lot of guys. We put up a lot of money here, guys, and we do that. But that's the risk you take, though, right? That's the risk you take when you're putting in for you getting good players. And quarterback is not one of those positions that you got great players just hanging around the corner that you can just pick anyone up. It's hard to come by. You know what I'm saying? But let me know if I'm wrong. What you guys think? What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I just think it's just Jerry being Jerry. Like he just can't help himself. He has to say something. And I think that the overall reaction that the press, the media, the fans, that the media reaction that they gave to Micah as being a positive reaction. Everyone having Micah's back, saying, yeah, he's right. This is kind of crazy. It always happens over there in the Cowboys, but you see everybody, gets the deal done and inked and moved on. So I think Jerry is low key. Jerry has the times where he takes shots at people, especially when they question him or they question what he's doing when he feels attacked. I mean, we saw last year where he went on the radio station and he just started airing everybody out, talking about, you might not have a job tomorrow if you keep questioning what I'm doing. But everyone's going to keep questioning him because all these things that happen are not, really normal and with other franchises, especially when you have guys that are, A1 talents that could go anywhere else at any moment, and the drop of a dime, they would be signed long term. So, yeah, him taking shots at Dak, it just reinforces what a lot of us think, that Jerry doesn't really like Dak, or Jerry really doesn't want Dak on his team. And then at the end of the day, all that he said does not matter. It does not pertain to Micah Parsons and Micah Parsons' contract.
Nope.
Whether or not he gets injured, whether Dak got injured, none of that matters when you're talking about signing a person, right? None of that matters. Like, you're not taking into consideration Micah's injury if he's going to get injured after he gets his contract. That literally does not matter. That should not even be on your mind. You shouldn't even be putting that type of energy and thought into the atmosphere regardless. And then Micah, no, I'm saying regardless. Like, if you're going to sign a player, if we want to give him that big contract, well, I guess the only time you bring up your player's injury history or how much you're gonna pay this player if he's on his second contract and he's already been injured. Like if you're talking about Diggs, I could totally understand you bringing up, well, Diggs has been injured, if we're gonna give him a contract, it's gonna be this and not this. But that's not the case with Mika. It's not like Mika is constantly injured, and it's not like Mika has not performed above and beyond his rookie deal. So that's what I'm saying. Like you're bringing up injury and saying, oh, we could pay him and then he can end up getting injured. So what? That happens. EA Sports, it's in the game. Figure it out. That's why you always have to have next man up. If you don't, if you're gonna think that way, then you should sign no players. You should just always sign just the rookie. Keep everybody on the rookie deal and let everybody move on to the next thing. That's how I feel. I just thought the comment was unnecessary, and I thought it was, stupid. I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about a player's injury, someone else's injury. You weren't talking about Mika's injury.
Well, yeah,
You're talking about Dak injuries. So I'm like, how would you compare that into my contract?
He was trying to show everybody his point of view, and he was trying to get the media to sway his side. Now, did it work? Obviously not, right? But he was trying to say, like, look, man, like, this is what I have to deal with. Like, it just seems like every time I sign a player, it seems like they're getting hurt or whatever like that. Like, we have to put these in consideration and stuff like that. That doesn't necessarily mean that the player is just going to perform or whatever like that. Like, look at DAK Prescott, look at Terrence Steele, look at all this others, and that's all fine and dandy. But like, we're not taking to the fact, if that's the case, then you deal with the money side of it. If you are that, like Jordan was saying, if you're that concerned about like his injury history and if he's going to be playing well, don't sign him. Very like dedicated to rookies and everything like that, and then keep the money or whatever, right? But if you have some figure in your head and you don't think he's past that figure, hey, let him know. Like, hey, look, man, we have to for sure see how your injury history or how your injury is going to do this year. Who knows what's going to happen the year after next year? Because you could step on a rock and something happen. Knock on wood here. But the thing is that
it's almost exactly what happened to Diggs. Diggs had no injuries prior to.
It's unnecessary drama that you're gonna, and then Jerry Jones has met his match, right? Because if there's any player that knows how to work the media out, the media angle, it's Micah Parsons. And that's what he's doing. He's not feeding into it, and he's not calling anybody bad or anything like that.
He's definitely adding.
He's just like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's taking this. What's taking this this long for. Now, granted, and I want to play on both sides of the coin here. We don't know what what Micah Parsons asking for. He can be asking for some astronomical number, and all of us can be like, well, he's not going to get that. But
let's just say that he's asking for $2 to $3 million. Well, he's probably asking for. Let's say he's asking for $10 million more than what TJ Watt has. Is that astronomical? Like that's, yeah. Let's say it's just 10 overall. It's 10 more million than him, and they're gonna fight about
overall,
the
not
10.
like $10 million. I'm about to say $10 million a year. Yeah, that is astronomical. I've been like, no.
Right.
The overall, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I think we all can come to an understanding of an estimate of what his contract is going to look like. TJ Watt's. They're just playing on how much guarantee it's going to be, and the overall how much it's going to be. I can't remember if TJ Watt got $100 million, then Mika's going to get 102 or 105. They're playing over, just him being the highest
Honestly,
paid.
I would sign him to a two-year extension. And
but
he
probably doesn't want it.
If it was overall $10 million, yes, and then the argument would be like, well, you're not going to give money to these other players. I think you have a good enough defensive end room that can last you for 2 more years. You have Dante Fowler for another year. You have Donovan Esaraku, who's been high praises of that, right? You got to trust your draft like Marshawn Leland, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes,
and I think it's also funny.
Sam Williams,
Yeah, I think it's also funny that that Jerry has that Jerry always has this thing about these that he even the fact that Jerry even said something like that when he gave Tony Romo all that money and did not mention a single thing about his injury history. It's just funny how he plays up certain things and puts down other things when Tony Romo was constantly injured, but he got the biggest bag, and we were paying him well over his contract. Well, he wasn't even on the team anymore. We were still paying him big bucks. Like, so the fact that he even mentions these things to me, I'm just sitting in there shaking my head like, what are we talking about? Like, move on, Jerry. Pay the man or don't pay the man. Move on, so we can all we can all come to the understanding and just move on. Just pay him or don't pay him. Like, this whole dragging it out, and even Micah said I'm not even upset, about him not paying me yet because it's happened to other players. And it's happened in recent years. This wasn't all of a sudden. This wasn't a Jerry. This is something new that Jerry's doing. I don't know if it's a Jerry Steven thing. I don't even know what the purpose is. Because then you put this added pressure onto the players, and then when they get into the season and they don't have a contract, like two things are going to happen, right? If a player is on a contract year, they're either going to do their best to ball out so they can get an even bigger contract, or they're going to do their best and ball out and hurt themselves doing so because they're doing too much. So it's never a win-win for the player or in my eyes, or the organization. Yes, if he does something wrong, like that gets injured, like he did on his contract year, then you can go, oh, well, we can pay you less. But is that really necessary? Like, is that really the smartest thing to do for yourself and for the team and for the player? Like, so I just think it's. I mean,
if winning's not your
priority.
It's not your goal. If winning's not your goal, then yes, it is the smartest thing.
But you got to look at that too. Yeah, because we talked about that last week, and that's one of the things I truly believe is that Jerry's priority is staying in the news and staying more. The more you talk about it, the more money he gets. You know what I'm saying? Because every news are talking about it. Every sports analysis are talking about it. We are talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So he stays in the news, man, regardless.
He's doing a great job of it, too.
Oh, he does an awesome job. Look, Jerry is not the top, Dallas is not the top, most richest, I guess, franchise for a reason. They have there's a reason. He knows what he's doing. So we can look at it and be like, and get as a fan side of it, and we get frustrated. I know you're talking about that last, but the Golden State, and if we decide to get more money, but right now he's
that. Like, I just think that the biggest fan base is the Dallas. So just like the Lakers, just like LeBron. What are the biggest fan bases that we're gonna talk about?
Right.
Dallas, LeBron, Lakers. Like, Jerry doesn't have to do anything or say anything for us to be in the media.
So what you're saying is, we're going to be in the media
regardless.
So what you're saying is,
Dak look, this had nothing to do with Jerry, and we were still in the national media, and they were wrong, by the way. But Dak threw a pass to Pickens, and it was on national television. So, Dak threw a pass to Pickens. Does it look good? But guess what? It wasn't even Pickens that he threw the ball to. It was Brandon Cooks, and they were in pass. Like, so this is what I'm talking about. He doesn't have to do anything to get us notoriety and national media attention. It's automatically gonna be in there. It's
but listen to this part though. But all of that notoriety and all of that stuff don't have his picture on it. So Jerry wants to be in the top light. He want to be in the limelight. So he got to say something to put his picture there. You know what I'm saying? So
is exactly what it is.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is, and that's what's frustrating.
Yeah, it is for a fan.
You paying Ferguson, and I don't know how they're gonna structure Ferguson, but without Micah even being signed yet, is just dumb to me. Like,
right.
Like, what? Like, how are you gonna? Okay.
All right, but check this out. We about to get into a new segment. Ladies and gentlemen, we about to get into a new segment that Setting It Straight with Fam is brought to come with, and that is the Joshua Adamas! Yes, that's what we got going on right now. We got that Joshua Adamas going on right now. So, so Josh, we're going to bring up let you handle this because you were putting in a lot of time of checking out what our Cowboys were doing on the camp. Training camp right now, you were seeing some things, offenses, defenses, side of the ball. So, we can go ahead and let you take it, man. What you got?
All right, so let's start with Jadon Blue. Is Jadon Blue? There's a lot of people has been talking about our running game and everything, and how. But you really can't see during practice, or at least without the pads, um, what he was capable of. But now that the pads are coming on, preseason game is coming up for all you guys that are out there that are waiting for the first preseason game. That's in 4 days, right? Or 3 days, whatever you're looking at this, right? So it's on next week on Thursday. So Jadon Blue's turning on he's using every bit of that 4.38 speed. Now, albeit he's working with the 2/3s, but today he was putting them jets on and he was burning people.
Just
Straight
because
up
we sign
burning
him
people.
doesn't mean we're going
I
to
mean,
have him. He was
and
hurt 6
he's start and this is going to be really crazy when the preseason starts to happen, because all it's going to take is about 2 or 3 gigantic runs from Jadon Blue, and then they're going to be like, you know what? Let's see how you work with the first team or whatever. So all I'm saying is this: is that Jadon Blue, if your name is not Jadon Blue, if your name is Miles Sanders / Devontae Williams, and don't even get me started on Devon. Hey, Devon, you out there, and we respect you, right? And we by the way, everybody, if you didn't know, he kind of got injured this week. We wish you a speedy recovery, right? I think there's a little bit of a hamstring issue there, but we wish you a speedy recovery, and we think that the world for you, right? But look, man, the more you out, hey, tell that hamstring to get better as quick as possible, because the blue train is docking the station. So if
Wow.
you're not on that blue train,
He's looking good. He's looking good.
If you're not on that blue chew,
yeah,
That blue chew.
no,
Choo
no,
choo.
yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, but hey, hey, do your thing. Hey, but look, speaking of running backs, you got Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders doing his things too, right? Miles Sanders, over there, he's not only he's a weapon in the running game, right? His explosiveness is showing, but not only is his explosiveness is showing, but his the reason why they could put him out in the flat, put him on a not a go, excuse me, a go route, but not a go route, but a wheel route, and he's actually doing his thing on the wheel routes too. So I don't know if we have anything in regards to that, but
Yeah.
that's pretty good too. So speaking of, so we got Miles Sanders, George Pickens, the George Pickens, the George Pickens connection with Dak Prescott is starting to take place, right? Pickens is starting doing his thing. Now, don't get me wrong,
But
okay? The
but hold up.
the
But I know you were saying that. But I know you were talking about. Miles Sanders. That's him right there, right? I just want you to talk about him because I forgot you asked for that, and I didn't have that up for you when you were talking about Miles Sanders.
Yeah, so yeah, Miles Sanders is his explosiveness is starting to take form. He's not just only seen as a weapon in the ground game, but you can also pass him the ball too. But they have to constantly work from. I understand that if you Twitter followers are out there, you're going to see a lot of clips, where there's going to be kind of miscues here. Remember, it is July. July. Was it July
25th, 27th.
27th? All right. Our first game don't start till, or excuse me, the Dallas Cowboys' first game don't start until September. You got a whole month for your team to start connecting when it comes to deep balls, deep passes, knowing their cues and stuff like that. Because you're not going to know when you're throwing in the air. Yeah, that's that's okay. Like it's gonna be that's one thing, right? You're developing kind of a chemistry in the air. Okay, this is how Dax. Okay, I was about to say balls, but this is how Dax passes feel. This is how Dak passes his passes feel because okay, if I hold my hands this way, if my hands are a little soft, or I have to form my hands in a certain way. Okay, how does he throw against the back shoulder? Right, that's a pick of George Pickens right there, right? So they're developing that chemistry, right? So, and which is crazy to me because the fact is, this whole time they were like, "Oh man, CD Lamb." I was feeding into the hype too. CD Lamb, George Pickens, CD Lamb's George Pickens, CD Lamb's George Pickens. Man, they're about to be a dynamic duo. They're about to duo. They're about to be the new Splash Bros, the Shiesty twins. You know, the crazy dynamic duo, whatever you have it. You know, and right now the defense are giving them fits. Even today, was the first private practice, and I George Pickens was struggling. He was struggling a lot.
Really?
Not struggling like get to his break, but he was struggling to get open. They were giving him fits, right? And so CD, I mean, pretty much all receivers not named CD Lamb. So I mean, that's that's something to look at. I mean, I guess you can put that on Mike Matt Eberflus, but I don't know. I really don't
But
know. I
I'm gonna
really
give
don't.
that pushback because that's still like what I was saying last week. But they're gonna know the defense is kind of gonna know what the offense is trying to do. So it's definitely gonna be more competitive and harder to for the offense to dictate or integrate favorable matchups when you kind of already know what's gonna happen or what they're trying to do. So, but I mean, there was a couple of deep balls earlier within the week that Pickens did blow a lot of guys out the water. He put that 95. I think PFF has him a 95% on all go balls or something like that, and he put that to use on a few go balls that he had. Some of them connected, some of them didn't. But as far as today, I didn't get to see any trading camp footage for today, but like you said, like especially like the more and more the camp goes on, you should see these type of favorable matchups for the DBs.
I mean, Andrew Booth was still on skates. As I say again, you might somebody needs to give this dude skates for Christmas or something like that, because the way how he be getting juked on the field or something like that, like because this dude Trayvon Diggs, Savon Ravel, Deron Bland, they need you because it's not looking good if Andrew Booth have to go out there to the point where like, why is this dude on the team? When you're having
What?
other people juke
I
you like that.
I have a
You know?
question though. I have a question for you, Josh. Your Joshua Damas. While we're talking about your camp 101, who's had the best hand so far this camp? I've seen a lot of good catches, solid
Okay, I
catches.
want to say this. And people are not going to believe this, but when it comes to, well, I don't know between, obviously it's going to be like not named CD Lamb, right? Not named CD Lamb because it's
Including
separate than
CD Lamb, including CD
well, CD
Lamb.
Lamb. I'll say CD Lamb. But I will say this.
Go on, say it.
Jalen Tolbert,
What?
you're gonna need to have a really good camp, a better camp than what you've been having, because right now, John Domingo, his hand seems to be like it looks to have some stick him on his hands because he's catching everything uh known to man. I mean, I think there was like maybe one drop or whatever like that, but like this dude is not dropping that ball, and it seems like he's not dropping the ball physically and not dropping the ball metaphorically either. So, uh, same thing with Brevin Spann-Ford. Brevin Spann-Ford, we wish you a super recovery. Luke Schoonmaker, bruh, and Luke Schoonmaker wasn't doing bad. He's doing good, but Brevin Spann-Ford, Jonathan Mingo, hey, Jalen Tolbert, and then like I wish I had the clip where Dak got intercepted. I mean, now granted it was like Jalen Tolbert was
It's
covered, but it's almost like Elam was
I was
running
gonna say
around for
that.
him.
I was like that Dak threw the pick, but I was kind of scratching my head. But that's one of those things where, everyone knew where he was gonna pretty much go to, and they locked it down, and he just threw it anyway.
Yeah, but still, like, okay, make it better. Like, why is Elam throwing the ball for you? I mean, excuse me, running the route for you. Like, it's all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's like he gave up.
Elam!
But like, okay, but it was against Jalen Tolbert too. Like, I mean, come on. Like, but
That's the
even
comp
then
he's
though,
gonna be playing. Yeah,
even then
that's
though, even
if
then
he's gonna
because
be in
he
the
was like the
slot.
number
That's
2
the
wide
comp.
receiver last year.
That's
So
what
I
I'm saying.
mean,
Number 2?
he was. Last year he was. That just shows you how bad off this team was when Jalen Tolbert was number 2. That's not a good look for the
Wow.
Dallas Cowboys, you know. But like, yeah, so whatever. So Jonathan Mingo seems to be doing his thing, but like for some odd reason, his route running though sometimes can be kind of suspect. He makes things a lot harder than what it needs to be. Like, why? I don't understand. Like, for all you Panther fans that are out there, please put in the comments why does Jonathan Mingo make routes look way harder than it should be? Just please let me know that. But he's making the plays. He's making the plays,
You,
and
you
he's
know who
looking
who's
better than
also
Jalen
looking.
Tolbert.
That's not saying much, but you know who's also looking better than Jalen Tolbert? Turpin.
Oh yeah, well,
Why is Turpin out there? Why is Turpin out there? Thinking he's George Pickens. Why? Well, I want to know what's
Yeah,
going on
I
with
will
Turpin.
say this though. I will say, look, while he is better than Jalen Tolbert and everything like that, but there was one deep ball. I mean, it was Dak threw. It was right in the bread basket, and or it was like an end zone, and he jumped up, and we're like, why are you jumping up? Why are you jumping? Like, why are you trying to body catch it? Just put your hands up, and he would have got it. There's there's a couple miscues, but they're gonna clean it up though. But so far, Jalen Tolbert is probably right now. I'm not saying overall, but right now, if I had to put him like on as far as the wide receiver goes, he's probably 1, 2, 5. He's probably wide receiver number 5. So that's probably not even making the team. That's probably practice squad.
Wow.
So
So right now, you're saying the standout receiver is Mingo.
when it comes to those two, yeah.
Well, I'm saying overall, just like
See,
fluctuating,
I
like
mean, CD
the
Lamb.
best hands.
So you're saying not CD Lamb is doing
Not
his thing.
not named CD Lamb, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, Jonathan Mingo. So which is kind of crazy though too, because George Pickens is nice too, but like Jonathan Mingo is kind of still in the show.
Now,
So I
now tell
mean,
me this.
watch out.
Now tell me this. Are you saying that George Pickens is being locked up, or he just not having a good game? He's not catching it. What is it?
I'm just saying today he wasn't. There was other times where he was doing his thing, but the past few
Yeah, he's
months,
not talking about all week. He's just talking,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
just today.
Oh, okay.
Because
All right.
he's had a decent out from the clips that I saw. He was having a good
yeah,
showcase.
they're
Yeah,
doing their thing. It's just that they have to get on the same page.
especially when those
But
deep routes. I don't think anybody's really
yeah,
touching him on
it's
them deep
just
routes.
that's their thing, right? Jalen Tolbert just needs to be better on his route running, right? Because you're gonna have somebody like come on, man, like somebody running the route for you like that, because those are the ball that Dak Prescott threw was a trust ball. He was like he threw it before he threw it to a spot.
Eh,
Yeah, the one that Elam caught was he threw it to
He
a
said,
spot.
eh,
He threw it to a spot,
eh.
and because right after he threw it, that's when he cut into that
And
spot. Now,
that's also what I mean. Like you saw that the corners knew exactly
no,
where
no,
the receiver.
yeah. I'm not trying to say it, but look, he's saying my guy is gonna beat him. Like right now, yes, Kyrie Elam is beating him, but I trust that Jalen Tolbert is gonna do that, and it's starting to be like that. Jalen is starting to slowly turn into the other cat. What's his name again? Is like Jalen is like Jonathan. He's like Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert's gonna be up. They're gonna be like, yeah, I'm wide receiver number 3. Like, no, we meant Jonathan Mingo. Come over here. Hey,
"Wow,
you ready to see?
wow,
You're ready to see. But like this camp is very competitive. It is very competitive. Like for instance, Tyler Booker. Tyler Booker was. I'm not trying to like he was people are going to say that he wasn't benched, but he was benched yesterday. He had to start running with the twos yesterday
What?
because yep. And then they had I forgot Jones out there running for him and everything like that. But all I'm saying is this. And then I think he went back up to the ones.
Yeah, he went back to the ones today. So
he went back to the ones. But that just goes to show you. But like Schottenheimer was trying to make a point. Like, look, if I will put my number one guy, my number one draft pick. If I put him down, nobody's is safe. Nobody's safe at all. You know, and
when you say nobody's safe, what do you mean? Whose bees is nobody's? Who be the nobodies are safe?
Nobody is safe. Like
nobody's safe.
Let's just be honest.
Okay, so if nobody's safe, Josh, QB2 is QB1.
Hey.
What? Come on now. Hold on.
Okay,
what you trying to say here? Wait a minute. you explain yourself because. All right, go ahead, Josh.
I'm just going off what the chatter is on the media.
In all reality,
and Josh said nobody's safe.
Joe Milton.
If nobody is truly safe, cue the backflip. Cue the backflip.
What?
Cue it. Cue the backflip.
Are you kidding me?
Your QB1 can't do what my QB2 can do.
What?
Cue
the backflip. There we go.
Hey, if you can do, look, Joe Milton's athletic, right? And this dude, he's making look. If you saw the internet clip and DAK Prescott was like, I don't know what's in that dude's drink. I can't don't even ask me to try to do that because I'm not going to be able to do that. But he's athletic.
Look,
and
Dak is busy around, playing Cowboys and Indians.
Hey, you gotta have fun too. But I will say this though, Joe Milton's throwing some tight window throws. His arm talent is
his arm talent. You could just see it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy good. But then when it comes to mechanics. Awesome too, because this dude, when it comes to mechanics, he is a savant. He is a nerd when it comes to QB mechanics, right? But understanding defenses and understanding the play, that's where the head game, that's where he's getting into. Now, if DAK Prescott can be in Joe Milton's body, that dude would be unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Well, this is only his second year in the league. He was a 7th-round pick. A 7th-round pick that I drafted in my mock draft, by the way. So yeah. So but the talk around the media, is, Dak is looking bad, and your QB2 is looking good. I just want to know from Josh O'Damas. I want to get Josh O'Damas' take.
Interceptions. Now, is it like 3 interceptions a day? No, it's like an interception a day or whatever like that. Maybe or whatever, which is bad because if you compare that to the what do you call it, the practice, what's this training camp sweepstakes, Jalen Hurts doesn't have an interception at all, whatever like that. But
but look though, but not all interceptions are quarterback though. So are you telling me all interceptions that he has so far was Dak?
No, I'm saying some of it was his fault, but not all of it was his fault.
I would say 60%. I would say 60%.
I would say 50 to 60. Fault. I would say 50 to 60%. I don't consider the Jalen Tolbert thing his fault. I think he was just trying to figure it out, which is, I guess you still can say it's his fault because you should know as a quarterback if you should trust your player.
Yeah, because he was locked up. Regardless of when Dak threw it, before he threw it, he was locked up. DB had him locked up.
Because sometimes you can throw.
Yeah, but you also got to know your receiver. You got to know your receiver
Well,
too.
well, look, this
You
is the
can't
time,
throw-
but this is the time to test your receivers, though. If you want to know what your receiver is
This is the
about,
time.
this is the time to test. We in training camp, so if you don't catch him now, don't expect me to throw it to you in the game. You know, I give you now.
Or to be
Dak.
in the
Dak.
game. Or to be in the game.
Dak.
Period.
Dak. Don't be testing nothing with Tover, okay? Okay? Let's be honest, Dak. Let's have a heart to heart. Stop testing. Don't test nothing with Tober. This is not the time to be testing nothing. Don't waste your precious time on Tober. Okay? Let's just okay. All right, let's get back to the program. Thank you.
So yeah, but yeah, he's not wrong here. He's definitely not wrong. But I will say
You got
this
a
though.
whole new number 3 out there, and you talking about John? You talking about the dad? You talking about? Oh, this is time to test. Time to test. No. This is a make or break season.
Right, but
I need to see Pickens getting those.
So
if you say it was Pickens,
so what you're saying is right. So what you're saying, you already know what Tolbert has. That's what you're saying. The training camp, don't be testing something that you already know what it is. That's what you're saying.
Yes, you already took that class and failed it.
Well, he's still number 3, so you still got to give it to him. He's still quarterback 3. I mean, quarterback. He's still receiver 3 though.
About Mingo. Josh is talking about Mingo. I'm talking about Turpin. Is he really number 3?
Is he listed as number 3 still, Joshua? Is he still listed? Because I know that's what he was.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Joshua Thomas. What is it?
Until they get the new whatchamacallit out, he's going to still be listed as. But I speaking of Joshua Thomas, I don't foresee him being wide receiver 3 by the end of camp. If he's continuing to play like this, I don't see him being wide receiver number 3. And I don't really consider Turpin number 3. I just think he's a gadget guy nonetheless.
Right.
So I think you're going to be CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and then Jonathan Mingo.
Wow.
But then Jonathan. But see, another thing too is,
and then
I'll give Tober.
I'm just kidding.
I'll give Tober. Look, this is why Tober will be on the team and make the team, because in order to play slot, you have to be able to run routes. And like you were saying earlier about Mingo, Josh, is his route running isn't the best. His overall flow, feng shui is not the best, because he is an outside receiver. He's like a Dez Bryant but that's not as fluid as Dez Bryant was. Like Dez Bryant could still go out there, and be shifty in a sense with his big frame and his, I'm gonna jump over you and catch you. Mingo's kind of like the thing, and we'll get back to that later. But yeah, so him being in the slot that's where he's gonna have to get good at, is being able to play in the slot. And if I'm Mingo, that's what if I'm trying to get on the field, as much as I can. And then even with CeeDee Lamb though, you might get a lot of reps outside too, so that's also taking factor, like, because they like to put CeeDee in the slot. So I would focus on trying to, perfect my route running ability, in the slot, and still, have that over Tober, is that I could play outside. But I'm rooting for Flournoy. I think Flournoy is a better Mingo.
Really? You think he's better than Mingo?
As far as him not being so clunky, like I see actually Flournoy being exactly what Gallup was, but I don't think he's as fast as Gallup, but being exactly what Gallup was. I think Flournoy can be that, and I think if you can get him to get to that space, that level, I think that'll be great, especially for him to play in the slot or play outside when you having CeeDee move around in the slot.
What about Jalen Brooks? Nothing?
Jalen Brooks is another outside guy, but he might, I don't know. Well, Josh, Josh O'Donis, you tell me, you think he's out over Tober? If you had to pick Tober or Brooks?
Look, I get with Jalen Brooks now. If he just sets it off, which he hasn't been setting it off, but if he sets it off this preseason, yeah, maybe. But I mean, you're talking about they're going to have Jalen Tolbert on the team regardless. Not your previous wide receiver too. Like he still can run routes and stuff like that. And he's kind of still having a better camp uh than Jordan Brooks here. So like I
Jalen,
still
yeah.
consider them. I'm not saying Jordan Brooks is bad, but when the Pats came on, all things considered, like Jalen Tolbert didn't have the greatest of days, right? But at least before that, he's still doing the other days he was doing pretty good. But we'll see. But I still have Jalen Tolbert over Brooks at least right now. But then
So
again, it's like if somebody were to say, "Hey, Brooks is better," then I'll be like, it's because in all reality, it's CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and then the rest of them. To be honest.
So right now, when I'm
I mean,
hearing
am I
you
wrong?
guys, well, right now I don't know because see, Jordan was saying that he was saying that Flournoy was Ryan was a little better than Jonathan Mingo. That he was saying in a way. So that would take
You
it
can
to
make a point like you can make a like he hasn't been doing a lot of team drills with or splash plays with DAK Prescott or Joe Milton, right?
Yeah,
At
but he
least
had
when
like
it comes
that.
to
He had that crossing route, right, where he had that crossing route where he just broke away from everybody. I think it was a slant. He might have ran a slant, but he ran a slant and he just broke it away and dusted everybody. So that's why
yeah,
I was saying like I mean they've all had moments of that, and I just see him being more. We talk about fluidity and being more not as you know especially when you talk about route running. I think Flournoy. That's why I was so puzzled why they brought Mingo in last year. Spent the fourth on him when I felt like Flournoy was already at that point. If we're talking about in season, Flournoy was already a better Mingo at that point in the season. And then when if we're talking about being able all complete receiver, being able to run routes and all what all that encompasses, I think Flournoy still has that over Mingo. But
well,
like Josh said,
I hope Jonathan Mingo takes a job because then it makes me feel a little better about the fourth round draft pick.
right.
But
You both having like a CD Lamb number one, George Pickens. Then you have either Mingo or Flournoy. Then you have Turpin, then Talbert. But then you say, I know y'all
yeah,
talking about
Turpin's
Brooks,
his
so
own. I'll put Turpin like
yeah, Turpin.
dude.
because
Yeah,
he's
you
special.
can't really count Turpin into the receiver, even though he
Yeah,
is taking a
He's
receiver. Yes, because he does more. Because like Turpin is probably more important than everybody outside of Pickens and
CD Lamb,
CDE. If they're gonna
right?
get a
yeah.
more,
So he's going to be there.
yes,
What
and
you
he's
say?
probably
He's
gonna
going to be
get
on the roster.
more. Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, he's their special teams unit. Like he is special teams.
So
So
you'll say
kickoff, punt
Mingo,
return,
right?
and
So you'll say Mingo and Flournoy will probably get more playing time on those positions than Turpin because Turpin's going to
If
be
you
mostly
you
all
want
the.
Flournoy to do that,
well, no, I don't even.
but
No, I don't
but
think that.
Jalen,
I think
yeah, Jalen,
Turpin might actually get actual design plays for him. So that's
yeah,
why
Uh,
I'm
he
saying
is
like
going to get
he's
plays for him.
more
Yeah,
important because he's gonna get actual plays ran for him versus
and also special teams.
Flournoy and Mingo. Yes, and special teams. So Flournoy and Mingo are not probably gonna get design plays
look,
ran for them.
if Mingo takes it, then I'm having high hopes for this team, and that means he's running way better routes and he's figured it out, right? If somebody has surpassed, if he's wide receiver number 3, right? Technically speaking, wide receiver number 3, then I'm having higher hopes for this off wide receiver group. So
Okay. All right. Well, look. Here's one thing that we were talking about now, next week. This is what I want to talk about next week, but I'm going to get into the next segment. But before I do, I just want to let you know because we were talking about how Dak was throwing, how Joe Milton was throwing, and all of this other stuff, and he got his black flips, and how of a great specimen he is as a player, and all of this other stuff. But all of this time I was hearing everyone's talking about, the top 10 quarterbacks and who was the top 10 and and everybody was, not was hating on Dak and saying that he has not, performed well enough to be the top 10 and I'm like, okay. So next week I need y'all to do your research because I'm coming hard. I'm coming hard for this because I don't agree with that. So if you do agree, bring your stuff because I'm coming next week to talk about this, to me, nonsense what people are saying. But we got other things to talk about today, so we're going to go with that. But I just want to let you know that's what I'm coming with, so be prepared for that. But looking at the NFC, just the NFC, I want to ask you guys,
East.
huh? Not just the NFC East, just the NFC. Are you looking at? You want to just do NFC? The NFC East? That's what you want to do? That's what you want to deal with? Because I was thinking about NFC, but if you're just talking about NFC East, we can deal with that as well. But I was trying to figure, okay, let's do with the NFC East then. Let's even narrow it down. If you had to pick your top 4 Fantastic Four, you guys will have for the NFC East, because players, who would you have the most level movement, to say the most dominant on NFC East? Who your top 4, your Fantastic Four? Go ahead, Jordan.
I'll go first, Nancy, because you're probably gonna have the
go
better
first?
one. Yeah,
you gonna have the better one? Oh, okay. That's funny. But go ahead.
I'm in. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, all you Marvel fans out there. When it comes to the Marvel characters, I don't know their names, so I'm gonna try my hardest.
You got Mr. Fantastic. You got the Thing, Human Torch, and then you got Invisible Woman.
All right, so for the Thing, I have Jalen Carter, right? Because he's a big guy, and it's hard to get past him when it comes to the run game. This dude is strong. This dude is Jalen Carter for the Philadelphia Eagles, right? So pretty much nothing can get past him. He can lift a lot of weights. He can push people whatever he wants to. He can pretty much move anybody at will. So that's what I have for the Thing, right? When it comes to the Human Torch, all right, we all know Kavante Turpin, because the dude's fast, and that's the reason why I have the Human Torch. Okay, so I'm pretty sure he's the fastest wide receiver out there. So at least in NFC East. All right, Mr. Fantastic, I'm gonna have to give it to the quarterback of the Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels.
What? Nice. All right.
Because he can stretch the field in more ways than one. So that's why Mr. Fantastic. And then Sue Storm, or otherwise known as the Invisible Woman. So I had to go with somebody that was underneath the radar, right? So I think the biggest person, I think the biggest person that's underneath the radar, right, that nobody's really talking about is Kyer Elam. So I think he's one of the most
sorry.
No.
There's the big Elam.
That nobody's talking about. That can get you. That can get you whenever he's that can get you if you really don't think about it. No, I was gonna. It's honestly it's Malik Neighbors though. Malik Neighbors. A lot of people are not really talking about him a lot, and so I think he's kind of one of those under the radar players. I think he's going to have a fantastic season this year. I mean, I get it, Russell Wilson, but he's also really Russell Wilson, doodle arm or not, but he's still really good at the deep ball. So I think Malik Neighbors is going to be your under the radar of people. He's going to shock the world with. I understand he's wide receiver number 1. I'm just talking about when it comes to the rest of the NFL. I think he's going to be a top 5 wide receiver this year.
Okay.
All right, Joshua, go ahead.
Okay.
Jordan, but yeah.
For me, so for me as my Mr. Fantastic, the leader of the team, the guy who's got to be able to.
If you pick this guy, I promise. If you pick him, I promise.
This guy has to be able to do whatever it takes to get a W.
Oh my God. Oh no.
If
it starts with a J, I promise you.
When push comes to shove,
if this dude has a green jersey on and he's a quarterback, I promise you, Lord goodness.
When push
Go ahead.
comes to shove, you know they gonna push him to the goal line into the end zone touchdown. When it comes to this guy, he's always gonna put a kind of whooping
Bandit.
on
I got you.
Patrick Mahomes. This guy is Mr. Fantastic. He might not be the most cerebral, but he does what he needs to do for his team. And what is that for his team is, in the words of damn, I'm sorry, I can't even think of man's name. But he got to eat the W. Jalen Hurts is my Mr. Fantastic. I know that hurts Josh's soul. You know, I
respect it though. I respect it. I respect it. Go ahead.
Jalen Hurts is gonna do whatever he needs to do. He's not a guy who's gonna go out here for the glory. He's gonna do what he needs to do. He's gonna be, he knows his limits. They asked him earlier this year, is he gonna try to do more? Yeah, he said no. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get the W. and as my Human Torch, man, I think this guy is probably the best player in the. Would I consider him the best player? I would consider him tied of being the best player in the division. Maybe even.
Ooh, I know who you're gonna pick. I know you're gonna pick. He's on the Cowboys, isn't
but
he?
this guy. Right. This guy is a workhorse.
Edge rush.
This guy is this guy needs to get paid. Micah, the Human Torch person.
I knew he was gonna pick him. Tell me who's a better Human Torch than that.
I respect it. He's got a mouth on him.
I respect it.
You hate him or you love him. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna do his job.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
So that's who I got as my Human Torch. Now, as the guy who's gonna be the leader, the bruiser of the group, the thing of the group, everything's not pretty, but with him, everything is pretty. It might not be pretty, it's gonna be gritty, but hey, he's gonna get the job done. Stuff you get for granted, and you gotta go somewhere else, to let stuff fly. He's on the cover of Madden. Saquon Barkley was my thing. Hey, he had a crazy year last year. He led that Eagles team to the Super Bowl. He's the reason why they were in the Super Bowl. But he had that crazy jump. That everybody is on the Madden cover now. So Saquon Barkley was my thing. And as my invisible man, who's going to be a silent assassin. He's gonna put up force fields and he's gonna help. With force fields, you're helping your team out. You put force fields up around teammates so they don't look bad, right?
Your kicker.
Well, this is ain't no kickers on my list. This guy is definitely gonna be putting force fields. This guy's definitely gonna be putting force fields around DAK Prescott. He's definitely gonna be making DAK Prescott look better than what he is.
Tyler Guyton, baby.
Tyler Guyton. George Pickens is my invisible. He's gonna be slept on. Everyone, is saying what they say. Will he be good? Will he not be good? I think he is going to be good. I think the pressure's not going to be all the way on him because you have a CD Lamb, and that's my Fantastic Four. So I got the MVP. Jalen Hurts. Go ahead.
I actually respect that. I respect those four. As a person that critiques you a lot, I actually respect that. That's actually a well thought out, for a person.
Thank you, Josh O'Donis.
That was actually pretty good.
That was really good. That was really good. It's funny how you hyped up Jalen Hurts like that because, again, it's just going to move on to my topic next week because how that's going to be something else. Because
I hope he gets paid and does horrible this year. I hope he does like he usually does. This dude, I don't understand. This dude, I guess he does everything that he's like the Tebow. He's like the Tebow of like if Tebow was successful, he's like the Tebow of this thing. Because I don't get he's like a better. You know what he's like? He's like Cooper Rush. What Cooper Rush should be. He's like Cooper Rush wishes to be. That's Cooper Rush.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Rush.
Well, we're going to get on.
He's like a way better Cooper Rush.
Well, we're going to talk about that next
Way
week.
better.
We're going to talk about the next week. And I'll tell you what now. Hey, guys, if you like what you heard, I want you to go ahead and hit that like button down on the below. And then also hit that subscribe when you haven't done so far. Because, you know, we are setting it straight with fam, and that's what we do. We're going to be here every week. We're going to talk about what we saw in the training camp with Joshua Adamas. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep it straight because that's who we are. That's me, Bobby B, and my boys, Joshua and Jordan. So we'll say peace. See y'all next week.